back to school. We're gonna keep on dancing because we're back to school. Sorry, Chapel Roan. That's not how she meant her song. She hates parents.
Oh, I know. She sure does.
Look, we're like a month late to this
We
news
are,
story,
but it's still a good one.
still good. I was like, preach.
Really? Oh.
I was like, you're right. We don't have light behind our eyes. We are dead inside. But you should still do it, Chapel.
It's the best, hardest thing you'll ever do.
Yeah. But I don't have light behind my eyes anymore. That was extinguished. I do love so much that Pink Pony Club is sung by every 4-year-old girl.
It's a big hit in our household.
Just being a little stripper walking around being like, Pink Pony Club,
I'm going to keep on dancing in the pink. Yeah.
Just taking the alto.
In my high heels. Yeah, just took it down an
On the
octave.
stage in my heels. Yeah, girl. Get it, 4-year-old.
Speaking of parenting and the challenges involved, I had quite an interesting morning whereby my daughter had to learn a tough lesson. And you know how we all love Dr. Becky?
Oh, yeah.
And she talks about sit on the sad bench with your child, as in you
Oh,
don't
yeah,
need
yeah.
to solve problems for them. You just sit on the bench with them and let them know you're here.
Yeah, great in theory.
Yeah.
Really annoying in practice.
No, I like it. I found it quite helpful because I don't like when my kids get upset.
No.
And sometimes my inclination is to like, how can I fix this? And it's like, it's not my job for them to bury their emotions. It's my job to let them feel it.
Hold
You know,
space.
hold space and let them feel to the edges of all their emotions. Anyway, we had one of those, this is a life lesson moment. And I actually said that to Raph, this is one of those like tough life lesson moments. For context, we had a council clear up and we had all this, you know how you put all your stuff out the day before and they come and collect it at 5 a.m. or some ungodly hour the next day. And we had all these cardboard boxes filled with stuff to make it easy for the boys. And Rafa ran out onto the street and she got her favorite pencil case full of her favorite like the color pencils or pens that make it into her pencil case are the chosen ones.
Oh.
They're the special ones.
Okay.
And she was coloring in the boxes and doing drawings because she was like, I want to draw pictures for the men who are going to pick up the clear up stuff. And I'm like, okay.
Imagine having the energy.
I know, she doesn't run out, Revz. It's an untapped resource. I want to bottle it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she did all these beautiful drawings on the boxes, but while she was outside, she got distracted by a kid neighbor across the road. So she left her pencil box on top of one of the boxes, and then she went and played with the next door neighbor. Anyway, cut to the next day, the next morning, she's like, I think I left my pencil box outside. I did. I left it outside, and they're going to come and they're going to, and you know. So then we go and look for it. We can't find it because you know what happens with a council clear up?
They clear it up.
No, other people add stuff to the pile. So this is before they had arrived. Other people add stuff to the pile, and then I've got my freaking torch out, and I'm like looking
in
around.
the night.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't find it. She's like, oh, my pencil case. And I said to Raph,
That's one of those tough life lessons.
yeah, seriously. And I was
If
like,
a torch is required, we're sitting on the sad bench.
well, I thought maybe it would be somewhere really obvious, but of course it was now buried under a bunch of probably my neighbors on the street stuff who just chuck stuff on, you know, to the pile. And I said, sorry, Raph, look, maybe it's inside. Maybe you took it in. She's like, I don't think I did. I don't think. Anyway, she's panicked. Next morning, the truck arrives and Iggy hears it instantly and he's like, the truck's here.
I don't know, mobile.
Yeah. Such a basic boy. And we're up in my bedroom, which looks over the street, and I've got these shutters, and we're kind of peering through over the top of the window, and we're like, oh, yeah. And the boys are like grabbing the stuff, and Rafa then goes, my pencil case. And I'm like, honey, they're not going to find it. And it's raining. So they're all in their raincoat. Like, it's miserable. And, you know, it's still dark outside.
Oh, my God.
It's just getting light. It's that kind of dusk light where you can kind of see them. And she's like, my pencil case. And I'm like, honey, it's okay. Like, we've got to let it go. We couldn't find it. We tried to look for it. It's a life lesson. You know, you've got to look after your belongings. You know how we talk about possessions and at school, because she's lost so much stuff, Revz. Like, the amount of times I've been like, please don't take that precious thing that you love so much to school because it will not find its way. Yes, it will, Mummy. I promise. I'm going to put it in my tow tray. Next minute, I've lost the hat of this one particular doll that only fits that doll. Anyway, history repeating itself. So she is crying, but more like whimpering, watching, oh, my pencil case. Anyway, they get through like 90% of the pile. They're shifting big boxes and we get in a conversation about recycling and all this stuff.
What time is this?
5 a.m. Next minute, I see one of the guys scoop up her pencil case.
No.
Because it's bright blue with a unicorn. It's quite obvious and, you know, a specific size. He scoops it up and I made the
You saw it.
biggest error. It just came out of my mouth. I went,
No.
oh, he's got it.
No.
And of course, we're in this.
Did it get lobbed?
Yeah. As I said it, and we are upstairs and they are on the street and our house is set back off the road. So then I'm like, oh, he's got it. And then Rafa goes, my pencil. And then he chucks it into the back and
Munch.
And Rafa just goes, no. And she runs down the stairs. So me and Iggy are still upstairs looking out the window and we see her run out the front door in the rain, in her pajamas, barefoot, to the fence. And she's right there with them and she's sobbing. And I can see these 3 grown men in their 40s, 50s, 60s turn around and like, who is this child?
Wait, where are you?
Up in my bedroom. I'm not going out in the rain. Also, she's a fucking whippet. She's like speeding up, pew, you know, she's there. But in the time that she ran down the stairs and out the door, I saw it get munched. Like it's gone. Like that pencil case is cactus.
Been through the incinerator.
And then she's just sobbing at the gate. And these 3 men are literally looking around the street going,
Where is this child's parent?
yes. And me and Iggy are
like,
just
We
hiding.
don't know her.
We're hiding out. Meanwhile, bless Iggy, he's like, oh, poor Rafa. Poor Rafa. Oh, poor Rafa. And Rafa is scream wailing out on the street. And then one of the guys reaches into the back of the truck and pulls out like a teddy. And it's not hers. And he like sort of offers it to her. He's like, this? And she's like, no, my pencil case, like crying. And then the guys are like, sorry. And then they get the last of it. And she's just sobbing, watching. And then
In
they
the
get
rain.
in the rain. It was like out of a movie. They would have been like, what is happening? Like, why was this kid sent to us to make us feel guilty for doing our job? They get in the truck and then they go. And then Rafa's like given up. And she comes back inside. And she's like proper hyperventilating over a pencil case, Revz, over a pencil case. And I'm like holding her and she's like,
Big release.
yeah. And I
Big
was like,
release.
feel it, baby girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, then we had
Here
massive
we are on the
chats.
sad bench, sobbing away.
Sat on the sad bench with her and I was like, I know it sucks. And she's like, but they destroyed it. I'm like, they were just doing their job. It's not her fault. We can't point fingers outwardly. Like, why was it there in the first place? You need to look after your belongings. This is a tough lesson in not leaving your stuff out on a rubbish pile. Bring it inside, you know, and I'm stroking her back and she's just like quivering. But it was like the feelings for her were so intense.
Yeah.
So intense. And it went on. Like this dragged on for maybe an hour and a half where she was like gutted.
Is there anything you love that much that if it got tossed in the back of a truck, you would break down?
Maybe at that age?
No, I'm talking about right now.
Oh, no.
Is there anything in the world?
I, like my mum? Like if she-
Okay, yeah. I think we can all agree.
not that-
if your mum got incinerated, that would be sad.
but I'm not that attached to stuff.
I know. But
What
it's
about you?
But I'm just saying that because it's quite beautiful in that way of like the simplicity of her problems.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
No, I mean, maybe my Nana's ring. Like, that's the only possession
Yeah.
I have where I'm like, it's irreplaceable.
Totally. I'd
I
feel that
can't.
about my engagement ring.
Yeah. I can't really,
But
like,
I can't,
I
yeah.
can't think of a single other thing
No.
that I would be upset about.
Like
It's
my
quite
phone,
beautiful.
I'd be quite upset.
I'd be pretty devo
I
about
would-
my phone,
yeah,
actually.
if it was my phone, I'd be like, oh, the admin.
Yeah, but again, like, it's all in the cloud.
Yeah, but for her, it was,
Gone.
you know, and it wasn't like her special prize snuggly that she sleeps with, Pinky.
Oh, God.
You know, it wasn't that. It was
Mate.
a freaking pencil case.
Muku had a near-death experience the other
God,
day.
that's stressful.
It's really stressful. And I feel like I'm you know, it's a quote, Lin-Manuel Miranda, he goes, I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. That's how I feel about seeing Muku absolutely disembodied on my backyard. Like, I know it's going to happen, Like I just
Because of Buster?
because of Buster.
Oh, Revz, that can't happen.
I know, and I am fastidious, and I'm always. It's like I have this.
Where does
routine
Muku live?
on Isla's bed.
Okay.
And it's like I have this routine now where I'm like, check the kids, check the dog, and where's Muku? Because I'm like, it will be like my kid's really never imprinted onto snugglies. Like Teddy never. He's got like a menagerie of birds, and he likes them, but as a group, there's not like one that he's personified that smells funny. That's like you couldn't replace, you know. But Isla has Muku, and she was 3 months old when she got it. I think we've decided it's non-binary.
Okay.
We don't even know what animal it is. We thought it was a cow. Apparently it's a giraffe.
Okay.
It's a very fluid animal.
Great.
But it smells like Isla, and it's like Buster's dream, you know, because it's half fluff, half sack. Like he's gonna destroy it, and it's gonna be devastating.
It would be an interesting conflict for Isla because she loves Buster so much.
Yes, he is now her Muku.
Yes, but imagine if her now Muku ate
Her actual
memory
Muku.
Muku, childhood
No.
memes.
I feel like I need to get ahead of this. I feel like saying, Isla, let's take some really special photos of Muku because we don't know how long we have with him.
Really?
It's just, you know.
It's that dire.
Buster, yeah, it's gotten better since the snip, I will say, but he's looking for shit to take out to his crack den and rip up on the reg. Like if we're at home, he's trying to destroy something. Yeah. So, and it's fine. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, that's a milk carton.
And
No
Isla
problem.
knows that, right? Like, have you actively said to Isla,
Yeah, 'cause
Muku's next in line?
She is now wearing a half destroyed school shoe because I have a system, and I am absolutely militant about my system. They take their shoes off when they get home and they go in their lockers. And Isla didn't. And she just kicked her shoes off, and he ran out, and and I was like, teaching moment.
Yeah, that'll learn you.
Well, you're wearing that mangled shoe to school for the rest of the year. You are. Because they were $160 school shoes.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're like leather trainer shoe hybrid things from the fancy shop. You know, I was like, you're wearing those.
100p. What a shame. Q1. We're only, sorry. What a shame. Q2.
Jim, for the most non-corporate girly, the way you talk in Qs.
I love it. We all know what I mean.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Q2. We're in Q2 deals. But that's a bummer.
Start of Q2. Jem learnt KPI about 2 years ago, and then it just became part of a thing. I was
dishing them out
you
to everyone.
don't use it that way.
Do you know what your KPI is? Do you know my KPI is? Do you know my husband's KPI? We all got KPIs. KPI!
Let's start this episode.
Oh, we haven't started?
Our KPI is to start and finish this episode.
We're 13 minutes. Oh, we've started.
No, we haven't.
We haven't.
I mean, we have. It's a construct. Sorry to our advertisers.
We have 1,000 things to do, but we'd rather chat to you. With emails and meetings and husbands and kids, we don't have time for this. Just what you need, two basic bitches with a podcast.
Hello and welcome to We Don't Have Time for This. She's your host, Gemma Pina, on the gram, aka Chummy, along with me.
Oh, I smell another loose episode. So, continuing on from more disaster parenting stories that Chapel Roan would love to hear more about, I had to deal with gastro.
That was an artful segue, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. A round of applause. Seal of approval. Oh. We're here. Rafa had gastro recently, and I had a real humbling parenting moment where I had to check myself before I wreck my children. Seriously. Where we recently replaced our carpet. Brand new carpet. It's been on my wish list for 5 years, if I'm honest. And we've got this beautiful kind of earthy toned, creamy carpet. Anyway. It's lovely. It's completely transformed upstairs. It feels bigger and brighter and fresh and lovely. Rafa gets gastro. So middle of the night. First of all, she puked on herself all over her bed. Fine.
Hose it down.
Then she proceeded to walk down the hallway to get me, and I hear, "Mummy!"
Oh.
And then, bleh.
Yeah, we know it.
And I did that awful thing.
Not the carpet!
Not the cup. No, not the carpet! Fuck the child. Like, poor girl is at death's door And I'm worried about the brand new car. And I couldn't even contain it.
Sorry, mummy. Sorry, mummy.
Then she starts apologizing to me. And then I start apologizing to her for making carpet the priority over my human child.
Yeah.
I felt like an asshole.
Well, that is an asshole
But
move.
then I couldn't shake the concern for the carpet. So then I was like, okay, sorry, Raph, like I've got to clean the carpet up. You need to get in the shower. And I like shoved her in the hot shower. And then I spent the next like 20 minutes tending to the carpet. But then I was like, she's fine. She's in the shower. She's getting the puke out of her hair. But I had like coincidentally, where she puked on the carpet is right in front of where the shower is.
Okay.
So I was kind of like there with her, but
In spirit.
I felt like such a dick. And then I did that overcompensating thing where I was like, I'm so sorry, darling. Like, you are not more important than the carpet. It's just that it's brand new.
No, Freudian slip. You are more important than the carpet.
No. And then
You just said you are not more important than the carpet.
did I just say that?
Yeah.
That's not what I meant. You know what I meant.
I know what you meant.
Don't mess with me. I feel so much guilt over this.
should.
And then, and then the worst part is then Raph, bless her, she's like, it's okay, mummy. I know it's brand new. You know, where your kid just starts to parrot things back to you that, you know, you've been an anal asshole bitch about this.
Yeah.
No eating upstairs, no shoes, like just. And then I'm like, fuck, you know what? It's not worth having nice things with kids.
No, it's not.
Or
and if
things-
you'd never got the carpet, she never would have gotten gastro. You know?
Is that your theory?
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Right? Producer Kate's nodding. If
Yeah.
you'd never put that carpet in, no gastro.
Yeah.
In fact, I think this is the new talisman. Ward off gastro by having old shit everywhere. How many times have you changed your kids' bedding only for them to just have a weird accident that night or throw up that night? It's like you've had the same sheets on for 4 weeks. No problems.
Yeah.
You put
All of a
fresh
sudden,
sheets on.
it's like wearing white. You're guaranteed
Poo
to get
everywhere.
the strawberry hands or a punami all over you.
Yeah. Oh, chum.
I know. Anyway, it's fine. I salvaged the carpet, salvaged the child.
I'm just seeing Rafa as like a 38-year-old in therapy, and her therapist is like, let's do a hypnosis exercise. Take me back to one of your earliest memories. Where are you? I've just vomited, and my mum is very worried about her carpet.
And that's her wounded inner child. It'll forever be frozen as a 7-year-old girl in Q2 of 2000.
And when her partner prioritizes anything in the house, stop. Triggered.
Stop! I'm a bad parent. Oh,
My
God.
I actually can see for Rafa as a rebellion, just living barefoot in a like undeveloped country in like, the opposite of a curated space. I can just see her being a nomad that way.
I already know what she's going to go to therapy about. About her mother. Like, she's a hoarder and I'm a minimalist. I chuck everything and I know it distresses
Is
her.
minimalist the opposite of hoarder?
Well, what is?
A chucker.
Tell me, a chucker.
Yeah, because my dad's a chucker.
No, but minimalist is like, I think it works because it suggests that
I bet you think it works because
Yes,
it's
I
very
do.
flattering.
I know.
It sounds like an aesthetic choice.
Yeah, and
Like
she's
an
a maximalist.
Like an elegant, chic choice. Like hoarder is like a disorder, and minimalist is a
It
chic
rhymes.
aesthetic.
That's not my fault. Hoarder is a disorder. You said it. I am not a hoarder.
You're a chucker,
I am big time.
cleanser.
I'm a cleanser. And also, like we said before, like, what would you be upset about if it got crushed in the truck?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You'd be free.
I don't feel attached. But what I have been doing for quite a while is taking pictures of the kids' artwork. Maybe I'll put it into a photo book, but I've just been doing it as a just in case because their art's getting a bit better. You know, it's getting a bit better.
DLs. We were in the office just before this record, and Jem got like a photo update from school. This is what she said when she opened her chart.
Fuck you.
Her child was wearing like a craft, like a hat that she'd made in class, and it was a photo of her wearing the hat. And Jem did not go, oh my God. She opened the thing, and I thought she'd gotten bad news.
Shut up.
She opened the notification, and she went, oh no. And I was like, what? And she goes, oh, Raph, what is that? And And I was like, what's happened? And she showed me the craft. And I was like, honey, that's so cute. She's like, not her best work.
That is not true. That is not. Okay.
Yes, it is. No, it's not. That is exactly how it went
It is
down.
not how it went. And I realized you misheard a key piece of information.
Here we go.
It does not paint me in a better.
I wasn't trying to paint you in a better light. I was trying to galvanize the point
No.
that you're hard on your daughter.
This is almost worse, but I think some people will relate. You know when your kid goes through that season, and Raf is so deep in this, where they just put on a weird smile for the camera.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Right on time.
Like a weird... If you're on YouTube, you can see me doing it, but it's like...
It's a constipation face.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not anything at all like a smile. You can. It's just like they're showing their teeth.
It's awkward.
It's like they're in an orthodontics exam.
Truly. It's horrendous. And she's in this, and she has the most beautiful smile. Anyway, we've just lost it for a bit.
Yeah, it'll come
in
back.
photos. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, Teddy's exactly the same
It was not the
stage.
craft. It was, oh God, what is going on with her smile? Because she's,
With her face.
this is what I mean. It doesn't paint me in a better light, but I know, I trust that the DL
Yeah.
community will back me on this when you're trying to get a nice photo of your kid and they pull that face and it's like, why?
And it looks like they're a hostage in your family.
Correct. And you know, this photo came through the school app and I didn't even notice the craft hat monstrosity on her head, which I'm
Okay.
sure looked fine. It was just, she was pulling this weird face where she looked like a hostage. That's what it was.
Yeah. Teddy is also there. And we got the school photos back for the year. And Isla is just, she's at peak gorgeous.
Effervescent.
Effervescent. Year 5, like really found her flow. And she just is, this beaming little thing. Look, she's had her fair share of disaster school photos, which I love and treasure.
Totally.
But she's like at this thrivey stage. Look at her. And then Teddy looks like a criminal. It looks like a mugshot. He's got half his collar up. He's doing the constipated hostage smile. And he's just, remember he shaved his head?
Yes.
And then he had a black eye.
Oh, yes.
And it's like a mugshot. All he needs is the little card in front of, the little board in front of him with his name and the name of his, date of his offense.
Yeah, but like you said, they become your favorite
That's
photos.
oh my God,
Yeah.
my favorite.
It's almost better.
It's way better.
Yeah.
My favorite school photo of Isla was when she started kindy in Australia halfway through the year because we came back from the UK. But in UK lockdown, she'd cut her fringe off at the
I remember
root.
this.
At the root on one side, RIP, never forget. And so she had the craziest, most fucked up hair, and her teeth were doing that new teeth thing. It's an absolute.
And they haven't grown into
No,
their
and
teeth.
we tried to put a headband on to but it just makes
Salvage
it
it.
worse.
Oh, bless.
And that's my favorite photo. And now I have all her photos. I put the kids, I always buy the magnet and I love it. And I've got them in a lineup on my fridge. And we always joke oh, it's my 3 daughters. And I'm like, oh, there's the one that lives in the attic. It's the COVID one.
It's Dobby.
It's Dobby, the house elf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Dobby.
It's like I've got 3 daughters. 2 are thriving. One lives in the attic. But I love that one.
But we will never forget her.
Never forget.
No.
This leads really well into my what I don't have time for.
What don't you have time for?
So we're driving in the car the other day and my kids come out with, yeah, but Mum, you're really hard to please.
Oh, accurate.
What?
No?
Am I missing a piece of self-awareness here?
I can see where your kids are coming from, if I'm honest.
I was stabbed to the heart because out of the mouths of babes, like you say, they're like giving back to you what they're receiving from the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, try and be cool driving. And I forget the context. I don't even know what we were talking about, but they're like, yeah, but Mum, you're really hard to please. And I was like, oh yeah, tell me more about that. What do you mean? I try not to get defensive, be like, what do you mean I'm hard to please? And
You're
they
opinionated, Revz.
well, yeah. And they were telling me, they're like, well, when we watch Australian Idol, you don't think they're all good. And I was like, oh my God, do my kids take my critique of an Australian Idol contestant as being someone who's hard to please? And I really had to look at myself and be like, do I do that to them?
You don't, but it's
Right.
interesting feedback. Oh, you do.
Well, in certain areas.
Of expertise.
Well,
because I was going to say,
where I have expertise.
yeah, Australian Idol is somewhere where you have expertise.
Yeah, not singing, but like performance.
No, but like being a director,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
understand performance elements and production and all of that.
And if they have a project and they are like, I'm quite hardline. I make my kids do all their own homework and projects, but I will sit with them and I will like tandem with them. Like,
Wait, sorry, can I reverse for a second? What
Yeah.
do you mean?
I
You have a
know.
hard line
know,
and
and-
make them do their own. Isn't that what homework is?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something else.
No.
No, people do it like stuff for their kids.
Why?
I don't know, but like people do it, and I'm like,
Who has time for that?
who has time? I think they want it's the path of least resistance or something.
Oh,
but
just get it done.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, like
no.
no way. Like that's
No.
not what the point of it.
Yeah, but then also like they might be getting a false mark that's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
true to what they've produced.
And I don't think they're going to learn anything if I
No.
do it for them. Right, anyway,
Anyway,
blah,
we've
blah, blah,
digressed.
blah, blah. You get it. I'm on my soapbox. So when I'm helping them with projects or like if they have to write a speech or make a poster or, they use Canva a lot now. And like,
Cool.
well, I know, but I'm a graphic designer. So I'm like, it's kind of like when they were little and I used to have to like really hold myself back from the coloring or the drawing or whatever. I'm like, oh, why would you clutter that? Don't you know about the negative space? But I will tell them because I'm like, well, this is somewhere
Well, you can actually aid them in lessons and teach them.
but I guess if it's coming through as I'm hard to please, then I'm gonna have to put an eye on it, right?
Yeah.
Because I would say to them like, hey, one thing I could offer up to you is like, there's a lot of information on this poster, and someone's less likely to read it if there isn't breathing space around the words. And then they'll go, and then I'll go, do you want to have a try and then see how that looks better? And
Well, it
whatever.
sounds like you're going about it the right way.
Well, I thought so. But then I guess if all these things stack up,
yeah.
am I just like a too high standards parent?
But also, when you're watching something like Australian Idol or any reality TV, you don't handle the contestants on the show with kid gloves.
No.
You're just going to be like, that was terrible.
yeah.
Right?
Oof, they cooked that one. Choked.
And what kids are hearing is like,
criticism.
yes, and like, oh, I could be on the receiving end of that one day. You know,
Yeah.
it's like when you hear someone bitch about someone, like I become very wary of those people because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I could be one of your victims or prey.
Totally.
You know, like it says more about you. But as your bestie, it's funny because I feel like your kids are really lucky because your insight is genuinely helpful and it comes from a place of real education.
Yeah, I know. But
And look, can I confess something?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've had this experience a little bit with Raf as well, with dance.
yeah, of course. Same, right?
Yeah, it's a similar thing. It's like something I grew up doing. I know the dance world intimately and I care about it and I love it. And even though with Raf, like I'm very conscious not to be a dance mom, like I really do hang back and keep it chill because I don't want to project anything onto her. But sometimes it comes out.
Yeah.
And you can't help yourself because you, like you said, oh, that font is really like the spacing is really off, and you just want to because if you can improve it and show them where to
know.
improve.
And as your bestie, I'm like, man, if I was your kid in your house and I was a dancer, I'd want that like
Feedback.
But we're coming at this
I know.
as adults
Yeah, we
who
are.
like a skill, a very specific skill.
It's niched.
Because I don't know, I always thought like, because I'm not sporty and my kids are so sporty, they'd have this whole life where I'm not critiquing. I could probably try and participate more, but I don't know what I'm looking at. So all I do, I'm like, here's your water bottle, I'll drive you there, here's your clean uniform.
Totally.
And then I'm like, you did amazing. And sometimes they go, no, I didn't play well. And I'm like,
you're
oh,
like, oh,
sorry,
didn't you? You seemed great.
I thought you were crushing it.
Totally.
Like, so I thought there was a balance there. But anyway, it's just like rang a little bell in my head where I'm like, okay.
This is sometimes ignorance is parenting bliss in some
Yeah.
ways. It's funny, there's a little girl at Rafa's dance school who's in her class who's very talented. Like she's got all the makings of a fantastic dancer, like uber flexible and has natural stage presence and really gets it. Like I look at her and I'm like, oh, you've got it. You're going to be a little star and it's inbuilt, like it's effortless to you. And her mum, I got chatting with her mum. And her mum was very much like, oh, I didn't grow up dancing, neither did my husband. So we're like, whole new world. And I was like, oh my God, how beautiful. Because you could assume that she has a really pushy mother, like from the outside, like that she's been doing this since she was 2 years old and it's been regimented and this is how she's got this good by age 7. But no, it's all driven by the child. And I find that so cool.
So cool.
But with Raph, with a mum who's an ex-dancer, like she'll be practicing in the living room and I'll be like, your foot's sickled, you know, straighten that knee. I think you can do that again with a straighter knee, you know, that, and I'm like, shut up, Jem. This is so annoying. But then Raph, she listens, like she takes on the feedback and then I see the improvement.
But it must be a way of engaging, right? Like I know like when Isla has public speaking or debating things, which she loves, it's her big passion area, second to football. And it's one of mine. So I can feel her feeling the connection. Like I help her. She goes over. She asks me she asks me for my feedback or what do you think here or whatever. And like I'll sit with her. And because I'm so engaged, she must feel that. And Raph must feel that from you. Like, oh, mum's really engaged with this. Like she's really paying attention to me.
But the fall can hurt more if they don't succeed because it's almost like, I wonder if there's a small part of their brain that's like, well, I've got this advantage in that I have this really engaged parent who knows. I don't know because
it's probably more like, oh, if I don't do well at this, mum won't be impressed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, it reminds me of a story producer Kate actually shared with us where her mum was a dentist. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
And she was saying how as a kid, she has vivid memories of feeling like, I will have let my mum down if I go to the dentist and I have like a cavity or something wrong with my mouth because mum's a dentist.
Yeah.
Like I can't. Yeah, I think kids internalize this shit. I don't think we give them enough credit for what's going on around them, what they're observing, what they're absorbing and taking in. Revzy, this is a random story. You'll remember this, but I remember in school, we were older, we were maybe 14, and we had a drama assignment where we had to perform a monologue. Do you remember this? There was a girl in our year whose mum was a drama teacher. She wasn't our drama teacher, but her mum was a drama teacher. Not only a drama teacher, she was an actor.
A working actor,
on Australian TV.
Yeah.
And of course, this girl in our year crushed it. Her monologue performance was leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else in terms of performance quality and just having a really nuanced performance. You know, when you're 14, you're like Annie from the musical. You're like, oh boy, and everything's exaggerated. Whereas hers was really
you were like that. Yeah. I was like, the day my life ended was when I walked in on my dead brother.
Yeah,
you know? so many feelings.
Hammed up and dramatized. Yep. Whereas hers was nuanced and detailed and subtle and heartbreaking. And, it had geography to the performance. It was beautiful. And I remember being really annoyed that my mum wasn't an actor. That my mum wasn't a drama teacher because I wanted to excel in this space. And I just remember being like, why? Why couldn't I have had that parent to help me and guide me, you know?
Yeah, where your mum would have felt like how I feel on the soccer side.
She did. She was like,
looks good to me.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, I've got a kid into theatre. Oh, it's not my world.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you remember all those lines?
Yeah, totally.
No, like getting in the weeds with it, you know. Like I will actually say to my kids if they have a soccer game on or whatever, I'll be like, oh, I thought that looked like a good kick. And they're like, Mom, they were offside. Oh, don't worry about it. You know, like I can't get into it.
Question, because I know you say that, you know, when you work on speeches with Isla or Isla requests your feedback and feels that connection, is there also anger that bubbles up and frustration when they don't get something right? Because this is what happens with Rafa. Sometimes she either fully wants my help or it's like, fuck off, you don't know anything.
It's kind of all of it, you know. She's never fuck off, you don't know anything, but she'll get frustrated and go, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
Well, Rafa's never told me to fuck off explicitly, but that's the energy. It's you don't know, Mum.
Yeah. There's flip sides as well, I guess. They're like, you know, me and Ted have this little ritual that's just completely developed organically where when I'm doing my makeup in the morning, he comes and sits on my bed. Now, Ted's busy all morning. From the sunrise when he gets up, he busies himself. He's on the trampoline, then he's playing with the dogs, then he's like doing cartwheels, and he's drawing something, then he's whatever. But like he always comes in when I'm doing my makeup and he sits cross-legged on my bed and we chat and he asks me questions. And it's like it's just emerged in this new house. It's so lovely. And then I'll after I do my makeup, then I get dressed and I'll like, you know, I don't really want his feedback, but it's, you know, he likes getting involved in my outfits. So I'm like, what do you reckon about this top with this? And he'll go, no, not that one. And I'll go, oh, okay. And like play along. And then the other day we were saying something, the three of us, we were talking about something and we were going somewhere and Ted's like, oh, what fits are we going to do? And I was like, I don't know, buddy, whatever you want. And he goes, no, but that's our thing.
Oh, that's really cute.
And that's like the reverse of them going, yeah, but you're really hard to please. It's like they're
Yeah.
showing me back what they're getting from me, but it was the positive version. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That is our thing, buddy. We like to like jam our fits,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
cute.
But like when it comes at you in a way where you're like, oh, shit, alarm bell, probably negative.
Hard to please is hard to
Hard
hear.
please.
Yeah.
It's just so not the brand I had of the kind of mum I was. I'm like a fun mum who like talks to my kids like they're peers and like I'm hearing it.
So did you dive deeper into the chat, like with the
I
kids?
tried
Like were you
to.
kind of like, well, in what way is mummy hard to please?
I
Like,
tried to, but I tried to like not be defensive or make them explain themselves. I was just like, I'm so curious to hear that. I wouldn't have thought I was hard to please. And then Teddy goes, oh yeah, you are.
oh God, doubling down.
Double down. I was
Just
like,
twist the knife
really?
in deeper.
How so? Oh, you've always got notes.
I mean, fair.
I know I do.
You
have
do.
notes.
You do have notes, yeah, for your kids.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I might just have to illuminate to them that I don't do it with sport.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, Isla did come and say, Mum, they're starting drama club and they're looking for parent volunteers.
Okay, so she
I'm
wants
like,
your
so
involvement.
you do want my
Yeah.
involvement?
Well, of course. She's a smart kid. Like she knows that this is your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I know.
And she wants to exploit it to her benefit.
You know, it's like, we always say about men, like, I just want you to listen. I don't want you to solve everything. Just
Yeah.
listen. I wonder if the kids are ever like, just be my mum. Just tell
Yeah.
me it's great, whatever. Even if I
Totally.
know you're bullshitting me, just tell me I'm amazing.
I reckon that is a layer in all of this
Something
for
I've
sure.
gotta watch.
Good to know though. Good to develop the self-awareness. And this is what I love about kids. They're so explicit in their feelings.
Yeah.
Like that is fucking direct. You are hard to please. Am I? Yes.
Oh yeah.
You're like, wow, didn't know I was giving off that energy. Oh, kids, eh? You know what I don't have time for?
What don't you have time for?
I still don't have time for the state of the internet, specifically the comments section.
It's a bin fire.
It really is. A few weeks ago, I saw a post shared by Laura Byrne and Maddie J. For those of you who don't know them, they are, I don't know if you've been living under a rock.
She
but
won him on The Bachelor.
that is such a weird way of sharing that. But you are right. She won him.
I'm pretty sure that's how they describe it.
Or did he win her?
I don't know. She won because she had to fight the other women away.
Yeah, he did nothing.
Yeah.
He
And now
just-
they have 2 kids and they're like, happily married.
They're a bachelor
podcasters.
success
Yeah.
story, like hugely successful and hugely loved couple
Yeah.
because they're quite funny. They're a bit zany and quirky. They've got these beautiful kids. They've-
Multiple businesses. She's got a jewelry line that, they've.
Yeah, he's got a podcast with a
Yep.
mate. She's got one with a mate. Anyway, they do a lot
She's
of
got
things.
one with a mate. Just one of the biggest podcasts in the country.
She's got one with a mate.
She's got one with a mate.
Anyway, they shared this video of a renovation that they were doing, specifically a bathroom. And the comment section is unhinged. Like people are outright
Straight up rude.
mean.
Mean.
Like I get it if someone else's bathroom reno is not to your taste, I sure as hell would not let them know my thoughts. And it's become like a parlon. But it's just fascinating to me because it's like when I look at this bathroom, I think, oh, I wouldn't do that, but I love it for them and it's their style.
I love it.
It's a bit quirky, it's creative, like it's interesting.
It's actually incredibly on trend, ahead of the trend.
Yeah,
It's
and
where interiors are going.
It's unexpected.
Yeah.
And they've got this deep vein marble that people seem
Stunning.
to hate, which I'm like, in time, people, you will fall in love
It'll
with this
be
marble.
in fucking big
Yeah,
W on your contact paper soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, like you just haven't seen it enough yet. And I'm just so shocked by people's inability to just say nothing. Like, I know it's like a really old statement, but, you know, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
But it has stepped up.
Do you reckon, though, that it's like when they read the comment section and when the comments align with them, people get emboldened to add to the pile-on?
I honestly don't know, but it's like some social we all know, like, if you had to say that to their face, you would never.
I know, but
And
why
we
can't
know
people
that.
apply that to the online world?
I just think
I don't understand that part, Revz.
I don't either. Because I would never. Like, I
Same.
would never.
And then that is part of your digital footprint, that you said a dick thing to someone online. Like, that can be found and traced. And would you be proud?
No,
if
but
you're-
a lot of people have burners specifically for this, which makes me think people know it's a guilty, dirty pastime.
Okay,
But
that's sinister.
But that's what lots of them
I
are.
know, I get it, but it's upsetting. I feel naive and silly to the world
because
but
we would never.
yeah.
Like, but I'm not even that. I'm not. It takes a lot for me to leave a comment. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
I don't know why. I'm not holding it back or anything, but
but
I
it-
just wouldn't think that anyone gives a shit what I think. You know,
Yeah.
about their bathroom or their dog or whatever. You know, we've both had things go accidentally viral to weird corners of the internet and
Yeah.
had awful comments
Yeah.
come at us, and it's new. Like the when Instagram started trying to be TikTok, it all changed,
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly your content's going not to your audience but to just random slews of people
Yeah.
who don't know you, don't care about you, don't get your vibe,
And
don't
have no
know why you're here,
context
have no
For that one
context.
piece of content
Yeah.
either. That's the other thing.
Like the people I want to follow, I don't even see them anymore.
It's shit.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I only see your stuff when I'm in the podcast Instagram because we only follow each other.
Yeah, totally.
Like, when I'm in my personal Instagram, your shit doesn't get served to me.
Yeah.
My best friend who I spend every single day with. You know, like the people who I opt in and want to see. Sometimes I go, oh, hey, I started following that cool interior designer. What were they called again? And I can't even because
I have to go in my
because
followers
it's
list.
like I started following them
Yeah.
and then it got hidden from me. And instead I'm just looking at like, I don't know, fucking like trad wives in Utah and
Yeah, same.
dancers in Ohio and like, you know, some TikToker in Germany. And I'm like, I never chose this.
Yeah. Do you remember when Instagram started that? Like it,
Yeah.
like the feed was like someone you know or a brand you love.
Oh, with something
and
we
we're just
might
chuck
like.
something
Yeah.
else in. But now it's 80-20. Like you only see 20% of the people you follow and 80% is random content that it's just testing out on you.
It's like you're behind that two-way glass in a perpetual market research
Oh,
like fishbowl, and it's awful. I hate it on there. And I like, you know, I'm someone who's always been like, I understand social media is not good for everyone, but personally, I find it a really good place to connect, something really creative, and it's changing for me. It is completely changing for me, and I'm finding it harder and harder to be there.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it feels like fast food now. Like, I come off it and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
I feel gross. Like I feel like my brain's just been assaulted.
Yeah.
You know, by things I never opted in for.
I know. That's kind of why I like Instagram stories, because you don't really get fed that much random
do.
content. Oh, you do?
I do.
Oh,
If I,
I get
click on someone I know, like with a red circle
Yeah.
up the top of my thing, I'll see maybe 1, 2, 3, and then I start getting random people.
I've never got a random
All the
person
time.
story.
All
I
the
only
time.
get ads, which I'm fine with. I can like skip past them.
Yeah.
But I've never had a random person's story feed in my feed, if that makes sense. So I feel safer there than sort of going in the Wild West part of the internet where it's just, yeah, like you said, random dances in Ohio, which I don't mind sometimes. No?
I just think COVID, it was like that time, wasn't it? Like the socials went into a weird place, and then we were all locked down and went all a bit crazy, and people started behaviors and they might not have done if they were leaving the house every day. But it's like they've all embedded, and now it is perfectly fine to just be I know we call it the keyboard warrior or the Karens or whatever, but like there just seems to be so many. It feels like maybe they're not just the loudest, they are the most voices there. I don't know. It's not a nice place to be.
No, I agree. And that's why I don't have time for it. Well, I have to give credit to Maddie J and Laura Byrne. So they've taken the negative comments and the hate-filled comments and they've basically shared a post again of this bathroom with the caption, "Our sweet little rage bait en suite."
Yeah, love it.
Really smart.
reclaim.
Like accepting.
And I love that. I do love people online who go, yeah, lol, I see your bullshit and I'm a do me anyway.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I respect it. I think that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no one would post anything for fear of opinions.
Well, maybe this is Darwinian. Maybe social media is going to eat itself alive. Do you know what I mean? Like it's going to eat its tail where all of us eventually go, you know what? No, I'm not going on there because it's so fucking awful on there. That like I'm not going to spend time there.
I got fed from a random person who reviews books. She had like 150,000 followers and I just happened to get fed her "goodbye, I'm leaving Instagram.
Yeah.
It's not good for my mental health."
Yep.
Her exit story. And I was like, oh, why am I getting fed this? Like she's literally leaving the platform. She's not going to post any new content. And I was like, isn't that interesting? I feel like this sometimes happens in waves where it gets a bit overwhelming. Interestingly, someone who left the platform for 4 years has returned. And she made a grand exit. She posted this epic photo of her and then wrote a really long caption about how she didn't want to look at her own life from the outside in. And that's what social media was doing to her. And she wanted to be present with her kids and not thinking about content ideas endlessly all the time. Anyway, she left for 4 years and we all just accepted it. And I kept following her. Like I didn't unfollow her account. Just because I completely forgot to do so. And then all of a sudden she like popped back in on my stories and she was like, "Hey guys, I'm just dipping my toe back into this world." And then she's just back on the gram. And I was just like, I'd love to like take her out for coffee and be like, "Hey, what prompted the return and what was it like for 4 years? Did you miss anything? Has the platform changed?" And she's just,
oh, you missed nothing.
well, absolutely nothing. And the
Nothing.
craziest thing is like, now that she's back on, it's like she never left. It's like I've missed nothing of her life, which is quite interesting to kind of witness because do you ever follow people where sometimes they go, "Well, that was an unexpected hiatus. It's good to be back." And I'm like, "Wait, did you leave?"
Where'd you go?
Yeah, I didn't know you were gone.
Yeah.
And I find it really interesting how time is so warped online. And how sometimes I'm like, "Oh, I haven't posted for a week." And then I start posting again, but no one notices that I didn't post for a
God, no.
week. Like,
No, it's just like our narcissism distilled into like one perfect place.
yeah, it's
You know,
bizarre,
and
isn't
it's
it?
just the worst. It's like what happened on Twitter, now X, whatever. Like it's like that ate itself alive, and now all those people are there. Good, we can tie like a
A
ring
neat
around
bow
them
around
and go,
them.
"You guys go and be awful to each other." I think it's all coming for all the other platforms, honestly. Unless something drastic happens and they clean it up, it's just not nice, you know?
Yeah.
But it's funny because we like to take some of it and not the other because you'll see a reel that you're like, this can't, what is happening? And you run to the comment section because you know that's
do.
going to be the entertainment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's fucked up.
So it's like, you do that. We can't have nice things.
We can't.
Well, thank you for being here, DLs.
God, we went here, there, and everywhere
We
again
started
in this
out
ep.
loose. We got deep at the end. Look at us, just being a classic bunch of clowns. Before we wrap it up, hit me with your not spun.
Have I got a not spawn for you? I'm really excited about this not spawn.
Well, then
I
hit
feel
me.
like I've landed on a gold mine.
Oh, all right.
Have you heard of Perky Pod?
Yes, I have.
It's such a good hack, DLs. Okay, so I have decided to re-enter my plant mum era.
She's ready.
Yeah, I'm ready to be a plant parent. You know, I'm ready for that level of responsibility. I want a little fiddle.
Oh,
I want a
yeah.
little fiddle.
Every family needs a fiddle.
We do.
That sounded really wrong.
That did come out so wrong.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, ficus. Let's
Every family needs a ficus.
Anyway,
Sounds like a vocal warm up. Every
does.
family needs a ficus. Every family needs a ficus.
back to Perky Pods. So I love anything that's a hack. Who doesn't? And some genius has redesigned the humble plant pot.
Talk it up.
First of all, what are the pain points of owning a big ficus?
How do you water it?
Yes.
You have to drag it into the shower
Yep.
or get the hose.
Pots
and
are
kind of-
heavy.
Pots are heavy.
You're lifting it.
Mhm.
You got to drain the water because you don't want it to sit in
Old
wet,
water.
old water and
Yeah.
soaked soil. But you want the soil to be soaked, but you need the water to drain away.
Oh,
Anyway,
nightmare.
now she has invented the Perky Pod, a lightweight pot on wheels, but you can't see the wheels.
Oh,
they're
whoa.
well concealed, so you can wheel your ficus into the shower if you want to. But this is the even better part.
Okay.
When you water it, you can soak the soil through, and underneath there's a little catchment compartment that captures all of the water, and then you just pull it out and you reuse it
Stop
and
it.
recycle it, and you
Stop
water
it.
that plant again with that water, but it's separated from the soil, so it's not sitting in that dank water, and that water stays fresher longer,
Yeah.
so you can reuse it. I mean, it speaks to me.
She's a plant mom who solved all the plant pain points.
But don't you think that's a
It's another
brilliant
vocal
design?
moment. She's the plant mom who solved all the plant pain points. Every family needs a ficus.
Stay on task, Bestie.
No, I'm done.
I know, you're cooked.
I'm
But don't you
cooked.
think it's cool?
Yeah, it's very cool, and I want one.
And the design is beautiful. I got the white one.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Can recommend. Couple that with the Amazon watering bulbs. You're
Oh,
set.
You're ready to be a plant mom.
Hands off parenting. That's what I'm here for. Hear me with your nuts spun.
Okay, DLs. You know I'm all about the lips.
You sure are.
It's a hyper focus of mine. I get
It's also a pain point for you.
also a pain point. I
Yeah.
get very dry lips. I get,
get
cold,
cold
sores.
sores.
So lip health and lip care, very important to me. Now, Laneige who? Because I have a new ride or die.
I'm sorry, who is she?
Who is she? She is a go-to lip oil person. Specifically, it is called Lip Hero. Do you know why?
It's go-to.
It's go-to based on Face Hero, which is my favorite beauty product of all time, probably. I'm not going to lie. They have turned, I assume it's just like the same hero ingredient, but they've turned it into a lip oil. But it is like sort of like a cross between an oil and a gloss and a balm. It's all in one, and it is so nourishing. It stays on. It's never sticky. It's so nice.
Personally, I am very into the design of this.
Yeah, it's like a pill shape.
It's beautiful, but
stunning.
also it's clear where you can see the product, which we don't often get to see.
not with lip stuff. I love it. I love it so much. I have been a paw ride or die of my everyday, and then a Laneige lip mask at night. Both are off the rotation. I am purely using Lip Hero morning, noon, and night.
I'm adding it to cart immediately.
I got it as well as a freebie because they were doing like a birthday thing, and it
So
just
good.
came with my other stuff. But I will be purchasing and repurchasing and repurchasing. This is my everything now.
Is it your go-to?
It's my go-to. Not sponsored.
DLs, thank you for being here with us. And as always, we'll be back in your ears bright and early on Friday with a Bestie Hotline.
See you there.
Bye-bye.